Hey, what is going on? I'm jevgenilaur and today I want to talk about auto-generated models. I have been seeing some videos and people telling that 3D artists are done. Well, today I want to talk about this topic more and explain why those models are not fitting game dev requirements at all. So let's go.
So welcome to the hyperhumandemos.com, and here we will be able to generate our models by using images. So here we'll click plus here and choose our image. So since I'm a character artist, I will use some kind of character gear, which will be jacket in this situation. And then we will just click generate. So just so you know, the jacket image is actually from Google. It was AI generated jacket design. So I guess no copyrights. I don't know. And here it's actually gonna happen pretty quick. Yeah, so here we are. This is exciting. This is interesting. So here is our model. We can already see, like, yeah, something went wrong on the backside. But as you can see here, it's actually not that bad. I mean, we just put only one image with only one view, and we actually have a full 3D model of that. That's interesting. So what we can do here is, first thing, we see like there is some kind of things going on here. It's just the color merged with this part, which feels a bit weird. This part here, I'm not sure what the hell is that. I think it should be a zebra line, but we don't have that, so alright, before we can actually try to redo that. So before we do, we can actually see that there is some material that we can change, even like a normal material. That's pretty cool. So let's try to redo it and see what will be the result. And as usual, it's not gonna take that much time. We can see the percentage numbers here, which is really cool. And we are almost there. Alright. Well, I think, is it better? Well, the backside is a bit better, but alright, we have something. So also, as you can see here, we have some tags: symmetric, sharp, smooth, simple, complex, game ready. I think if it's highlighted like that, then it means game ready, I guess. So let's confirm. And as you can see here, I don't have a subscription, so I can do only 18,000 polygons. I guess it's polygons, maybe triangles. So let's try to do that. If I will try to do other versions, it will say that I need to have a subscription. Well, maybe not today. So let's just do it 18,000. And then let's click continue. And then let's say, is the generated object symmetrical? Well, I don't know. I hope not. No. And we're gonna generate. Alright. Let me take a little bit of water. So let's see what we will get. Almost there. Come on, 10%. 10% luck, 20% skill. Alright, so here we have something. Alright, can we switch geometry? Wireframe. Alright, so this is our topology. Honestly, it looks like zero mesh. So it feels like there is some kind of portable zero mesh inside of this website. Well, I guess that's a revolution, maybe. Alright, so let's also, what we can do here, we can press generate, and then we will be able to have textures that will be built from our image. Let's click generate and see what we will get. So preview here. Alright, so it will take a little bit more of time. Alright, so, and also, if you can see here, we have base model, we have LED settings, which will be very handy to have, and high poly. Then we can choose formats, OBJ, FBX, and GLB. Never heard of that one before. Well, anyways, we can confirm this since it's done. And we will have more options to preview. So we have PBR now. That's cool. And this is how it looks like. And you know what? This is actually pretty cool. I like how it somehow managed to design the back part. Even though it looks kind of like, what is this? But it's not that bad. Like this area here, like I guess it should be the zipper, but look at the zipper now. I don't know. Well, anyways, what we can do now is we can export that. So can we use LODs? Yeah, so I would like to have LODs, which is level of detail. So we will have base model, we will have LODs, and that will be in FBX format, and we can't use 4K maps, sadly. It's not like game ready models use 4K maps. So we have 1K and we have PBR and shaded. I think we will take PBR. I hope it's gonna have metallic roughness on all those maps. So, alright, so this is ready to go. So we're gonna download this. But this, I mean, we spent like maybe like a minute or two, and we already have this result, which is, I mean, kind of wow, but at the same time, kind of like if you look at the details, I don't know. So what will be interesting actually is, let's look at the model inside of any 3D software. So downloads, I'm gonna open this up, have it here on my second screen, and we're gonna open our Maya. Put Maya here, and can I do this? Yeah. So let's just drop our model inside of Maya. And the first thing I see here, I think, alright, so we have a lot of LODs. We're gonna hide those by now. So first thing I see here is that somehow it's inside of our scene, which is, well, okay. The other thing, as you can see, we have a lot of polygons going on. Like, come on, dude, like, even the flow, look at this flow. Ideally, it should be more like from left to right, from left to right. And here you need to have like circles for the animation. But damn. But this, okay, let's just turn off the grid. It just kind of bugs me a bit more than it should. Yeah, we have some stuff here going on. What is this even supposed to be? So, like, it's a 3D model, for sure. But is it a game ready? Still, Let's look at the lots. So we have, oh wow, look at this one. So topology on this one, like, we even have some kind of hole here. Is it like a hole from the color? Let's actually go here and see it again. Yeah, there is a hole. Yeah, so that will be some time to fix all that, you know. So there is a hole here, there is hole there. Like topology is like whatever. Yeah, it does feel like it's just zero meshed version that we can pretty easily do inside of ZBrush or any other software, even maybe Blender. Another LOD to check. Well, I do think that it's not how it's supposed to be, honestly. I think we should, even though if you look at the poly count, so usually LODs, like the LOD 0 will be low poly, LOD 1 will be twice as less, LOD 2 will be even more, twice 4 times less, basically. And here we can actually see we have 33,000 triangles, and then LOD 1 is actually 16, which is kind of accurate. So digits are fine, but the topology is like, I don't think it's usable, honestly, that much. The other thing would be interesting to see is, let's actually put our textures inside into this model. And let me check diffuse map here, right? And we're gonna assign Lambert. And we're gonna go here. I'm gonna click File. And this will be Texture Diffuse, sure. And we'll click this icon here. And we're gonna turn off our LEDs, and we're gonna make maybe this to 2, or maybe so a bit brighter. Backlight scale. Alright, so here it's actually like, I mean, it's not bad, even though topology is kind of not the best, LEDs are not the best. One thing is also to check that will be really interesting to see is UVs, because UVs are the really interesting part, and UVs will be here. Well, those are our UVs. So, damn, look at the seams. Like, I mean, UV seams. So where is? I accidentally closed it. I'll put it up again. Yeah. So ideally, yeah, that's not the best. So let's just turn this off. So ideally, I'm gonna make a screenshot of this. Let's go to Paint. So ideally, when it comes to seams, UV seams, I mean, we will put the seams in the same area where actually the seams will be in real life. So at least here, we're gonna be able to select our color. Maybe somewhere inside there will be another seam here. This color should be also, I guess, separated. Maybe this thing here, I'm not even sure what the hell is this, but I guess this is like that. This color should be separated now. Like this thing, maybe if it's a buckle, for example, maybe even this. So ideally, this will be the seams of UV for a game-ready model. And our seams right now, if you forgot, look like this. So it's just pretty random, which is, again, it looks like a really like automatic topology. It looks like automatic UVs, and well, this is interesting. Like, this is a UV show. Like, yeah, I haven't saw this for a while. Like, damn. Well, there's little parts here. Like, I mean, oh my god, this is even. Look at this. Alright, so this is, I don't think this is usable that much. Maybe for some kind of tests, but damn. But interesting to see actually, but this topology here on the sleeve, this is actually pretty cool. If this would be maybe 3 times less, would be really nice. But yeah, but maybe it's just easier when it's like a cylindrical shape to generate that kind of thing. Well, yeah. I don't know. So it's not the best, I would say. It's not the best. I decided to put this model to Unreal Engine Scene to check how it's gonna look like. And here will be my material setup. So we have diffuse map, we have metallic, we have normal map, roughness map, and there is another map that as you can see, there is no connection. Because as it says, it has like a PBR naming. So I checked what is that supposed to mean. So if you go to Photoshop, we'll see that it's a combination of maps. So red is basically nothing, green channel is roughness, and let's check our roughness. So this is roughness, and this is also roughness. And then the blue channel is actually metallic, so PBR, I guess, is just a combination of maps. So I don't need to connect that again because metallic and roughness are already connected. Alright, so let's go back to our model. So in this scene it looks like this. And let's also check our reference. So let's compare. So I do see there is a lot of similarities overall, but if you look closer you will see a lot of differences. For example, we see those scales that kind of looks similar but not close enough. Plus, it doesn't have that much bump effect, like normal map effect. Height, basically, you know. The zipper here looks kinda like it's kinda weird, I would say. Very low polish. It doesn't look like a zipper actually, it feels like more like a stitching on clothing. Usually we put those on cuffs. The other thing is that, well, the color is actually pretty close. Maybe it's the HDR environment right now that is changing it a bit, but I mean, I guess it's close enough. If we look here, for example, this area here and this, well, it feels like there was some kind of, when you bake something, there is this cage thing going on, and it wasn't like enough cage, basically. And that's why it looks so kind of, I don't know, distorted and not enough details. This is also really interesting, but yeah. And then we have zippers here by the design, and then here you have actually 3 of them, and there is only 2. Alright, so the back side looks like this. Well, I don't think it's too much of roughness going on. You see it's like the same roughness all over the place. Not that much normal map information going on, even though we connected normal map. But it feels like it's not there. The other thing that I noticed is that there is no AO map, which means that what I see here, we do see some shadows, and I guess shadows are baked into diffuse map. So for stylized projects, usually it's how it's going on basically. But for like more realistic projects, for example, like Crysis, you know, usually you need to have a separate AO map. So this generator maybe is way better for stylized models. But yeah, I mean, this also area here we have some it feels like there's some kind of headphones actually. Well, I mean, looks kind of more cyberpunkish, like this area here and this. Well, yeah, but the sleeves are actually not that bad, you know, like it's close enough. But yeah, let's talk about pros of this method, of this website. Well, first thing is obviously it's fast. It took me like a couple minutes to generate from one image a full blown jacket with textures, even with roughness, metallic, and even normal map, which was not the best, but still it was there. Damn, it's actually amazing to have that we can do that now. The second thing, it's accurate enough for tests, and maybe when it's like if you put something more simple, like maybe jacket was a bit too much, but overall it kind of gives us the idea of how it could look like in 3D, so that's very nice. The other thing is that it's very good for testing. So if you're in a process of development, you need to test your models before doing the final concepts, final, I don't know, models and everything, final scales. You know, you need to figure out how this axe is supposed to be, how long it's supposed to be, or smaller or thicker, you know. You can just draw some kind of axe, put it here, boom, you have 3D model. And some textures even on top of that. Test, try, if it's fine, then go on and do a final concept, then do the final models. Really nice. The other thing is that you don't need to know even how to model. So as I said before, you just plug in your texture there, or like image, and it's gonna do a full 3D model. So no UVs, no knowledge of UVs, no knowledge of texturing, modeling. All you need to do is just press this plus button and put an image. Ridiculous. The other thing is that it's friendly for animation. Because, I mean, for test animation, of course not for full animation. If you remember, let's go to our model here. Of course, the topology is not the best. But for a quick test here and there, like with some kind of things, it could be helpful actually. But for tests, of course, that's not the final version. So those were the pros. Let's talk about the cons of this method. So the first thing will be our topology, and as you can see, here it looks like it's just pretty random. The direction of the polygons, the loops, I don't think there are any loops actually. So it looks pretty broken, pretty how it's not supposed to be. So I made this interesting image of what we have here. So on the left side, the direction, the flow is pretty broken, pretty ridiculous, no loops, no anything, just random. The right side actually is how you should do it. So there should be loops around your arms, around your, like, for example, knees, any areas when there will be some kind of bend animation. That's the first thing. The other thing is you wanna try to make it as clean as possible. So from left to right, from top to the bottom, and that will be the best. To give an example, I'm gonna use my old model to show. So let's check this. So that's an old model that I did a couple years ago. And you see here the topology from top to the bottom, from left to right, top to the bottom, left to right. That's nice. The other thing is, let's go back here. So it doesn't have any triangles, which might sound weird, but as a character artists on our clothing, usually if we have a lot of folds, we need to trace them, because if we'll just bake them, they might look too flat. But what we can do, we can actually just trace them by using topology or polygons. And even easier it will be to trace is actually to use triangles. So let's go here. So we have this really nice fold, clearly visible. And also we have those polygons that are look a bit broken. So they could actually break the silhouette of our fold. So to fix that, we need to add a triangle. So you know, in any engine, it will gonna triangulate it automatically, which is nice. But the downside is that you can triangulate it two ways, from here or from here to there. So let's check. So it could do it like this, which is nice, or automatically it can do it like this. And now you see that the shape is actually kind of broken a bit. So that's why we don't rely on engines when it comes to tracing folds, we do it manually. So we do it like that. And now it will hold the fold much more. And we can do the same thing here, and I guess here. We do those only on those areas that you see that the polygon is kind of breaking apart. Like, as you can see here, it's not like 100% solid or flat, I mean. So that's nice. Let's go to my example again, and I have some stuff here to show. And here, as you can see, I have some triangles, but at the same time, what is more important is you need to keep your flow of loops, and only then you can add your triangles. So let's go back to here. So for example, you did the basic topology, and only then I would advise to add some triangles, because with that you will be able to still save the flow while maintaining all the kind of silhouette of your folds. Another thing to talk about will be UVs. UVs are very important when it comes to game-ready models, because with those we would be able to optimize. And let's check out what kind of UVs we have on this jacket. And they look like nightmare. Because like, look at this. This is just, first thing I noticed is just a lot of free space going on. It could be filled or arranged more. The cuts on UVs, as I told before, maybe that they look kind of very random. Like even the sleeve doesn't have a full cut. It has like only 1/4 of it or something. Like this is just too much. Let's actually go here, and I will give you an example of how game-ready UVs could look like. So check this. So it should be like UV space itself, it should be filled with your UV shells as much as possible. Try to use this space. If you will leave a lot of free space, it will be a mistake. And if you will put that screenshot with those UVs in your portfolio, that will be another mistake. So don't do that. Another thing is that we could optimize by using UVs will be our mirroring option. So we can actually mirror our stuff. If you have some kind of parts of your model that kind of look the same, like buckles, for example, you can mirror them. What's the point of giving them like a unique UV shell for each one? They are small, there's no point. So, for example, I have this backpack. We have these two straps, and on my UVs, they are here. So this is the front part, this is the back part. So, to make this backpack as high quality as possible, I try to always find things that I can mirror. And in this case, it was straps. So if I would use unique straps on left and the right side, then I would have to double those UV shells, and I will have to put it, for example, on the right side, but then I will have to rearrange everything and make smaller. By doing that, my textile density will be lower, which means that I will have less pixels on my texture, and which means that it's just going to be more blurry, which is kind of sucks. The other thing to talk about when it comes to UV optimization is straight up your shells. Let's have a screenshot. Okay, let's go here. So another example. I have these straps on the center and on the sides, and as you can see, I applied some denim tile texture. And the texture is actually pretty correct, it's aligned correctly because my UVs are actually the same kind of shape, which is straight. So strap is straight, UVs are also straight. If my strap would be having a C shape, then the denim texture would also go like this, which is like not realistic. And this is the UVs of the straps. So as you can see, they're straight, textures are straight, following the shape, nice. And finally, texturing. So let's check that out. So from the distance, this jacket looks pretty good. If you can see here, as I said, we spent like 2 minutes generating this, looks pretty nice. But as soon as we're gonna zoom in, we'll see a lot of problems going on this side. This should be buckle. This part I think should be pushed down a bit more. Like this zipper lock has 2 zipper locks, I guess. Maybe it's a design choice, we can leave that. But damn. So the back part is just having some interesting pixels going on, like, and the design is actually pretty random. Yeah, and the zipper, I don't think it looks even like a zipper, honestly. It's so like low polish. So first thing to mention will be that how do we fix this? So the first thing will be we can try to regenerate this model, but the thing is that we will get a new version of this jacket, and it's not gonna be the same. So we will gonna be not having old problems, but we will for sure have new problems. So that's the downside of regenerating. The other thing is that how do we fix this overall? Like, do we go to Photoshop, I guess, because we don't have any substance files, we don't have any other files, we just have textures. And as soon as you wanna like adjust something on diffuse map, I guess you need to also adjust your roughness map and metallic map and normal map, which will be a nightmare to do. So that sucks. What if we wanna add dirt? How do we do that? Do we go to Photoshop? What if we wanna change our colors from blue to red? How do we do that? We can try to regenerate, but we will get another different model with a different design. So the other thing is that since the UVs are not optimized, you see that the zipper looks pretty low poly. There is a trick how we can make it look very high polish, I would say, while still having like this jacket has 1K while still maintaining 1K map. On UVs we can make this zipper bigger, so it will have more textile density. But in the end we will still have 1K map when it comes to this jacket. So sadly there wasn't any optimization that was done on other stages, so that's what we have here. And the last thing to mention is actually, like, you see that it doesn't have any hard edges, so it's only soft edges. So if the projection of this or I would say generation of this model would be more precise, we would get a buckle. And ideally, buckle is a hard surface part. And when it comes to hard surface parts, we need to put hard edges on their corners, and then make sure we need to have UV seams on those. And by that, we would be able to get rid of gradients on our normal map. If you will have that, you'll get some kind of like bad, I would say, artifacts on your model. Like the shading will gonna just break, which is not the best. So we need to avoid that. But with those models that we can generate, we don't have that. It doesn't include that kind of knowledge. So we will lack of that, sadly. In conclusion, I would like to add that we need much more control of those models, because right now we are too limited. If your game will gonna consist only of those kind of models, the size of your game will be very huge and the optimization will be very poor. So, feel free to subscribe and join my Discord channel, and thank you so much for watching.